Why, hello, and welcome back to Even More News, the first, the only news podcast. My name's Katie Stoll, and I think if you're watching this, you would have known by now that Cody's not here. Cody's at jury duty. Maybe he will record some of his thoughts on this absolutely wild day of news we have. But in his stead, we have been graced by our very own head writer, Dr. David Bell.
Hi. I won $20 on a scratch ticket.
Jonathan is also here.
Hi. How's it going?
It's going all right. We were all complaining about our various aging ailments. Mine's aging related, I think. Yours are otherwise.
The steady deterioration.
Oh, this one's fun. Friday, June 6th is both National Donut Day and National Applesauce Cake Day.
From Massachusetts, so a good old Boston cream donut from Dunkin' Donuts will do it for me.
I love nothing more than a real fresh, hot donut. Ooh, baby. And it does fill you up, but I feel like I get that sugar crash where then I feel a little nauseous a while later. But I'm not going to think about that part. I just want the donut. I like a cake donut with chocolate frosting.
Ooh.
So freaking good. And sprinkles, too, if you got them. Well, speaking of donuts, Musk v. Trump. This is the headlining story for us today and probably everywhere. My goodness, I thought I was up to speed. Then I was running around my house doing chores before we logged on. And Jonathan's like, have you seen? And I hadn't seen, but now I am about to see what the fuck is going on.
You turned
it's happening
off...
in real time, right?
Yes, this is still, I'm sure I will have an update when I refresh again. Katie, you turned off Parasite after 40 minutes and you're like, I get it. This is pretty good.
I get the vibe.
So I'm going to try to go through the timeline in order. We all know that Elon, they gave him a little ceremony when he left. They're friends. We're buds. It's just like, it's time for you to go back to your companies and we're doing this. Everyone's friends. But then the other day, Elon tweeted, I'm sorry, but I just can't stand it anymore, about what he called a massive, outrageous, pork-filled congressional spending bill that's a disgusting abomination. And he said that in November next year, we fire all politicians who betrayed the American people. Then today, Trump was in the Oval Office, as he is. You might not know this. He was hosting the Chancellor of Germany. No one gave a shit about that. Because
I really did not know that.
He was, and there were some funny moments there too, but it kind of doesn't.
Sure.
He was asked about Elon and all these tweets talking about how the bill sucks.
So we've done a great job. Elon knew that. Elon endorsed me very strongly. He actually went up and campaigned for me. I think I would have won. Susie would say I would have won Pennsylvania easily anyway. But I'm very disappointed because Elon knew the inner workings of this bill better than almost anybody sitting here. Better than you people. He knew everything about it. He had no problem with it. All of a sudden he had a problem, and he only developed the problem when he found out that we're going to have to cut the EV mandate, because that's billions and billions of dollars, and it really is unfair. We want to have cars of all types. And he hasn't said bad about me personally, but I'm sure that'll be next. But I'm very disappointed in Elon. I've helped Elon a lot.
This set Elon off.
Fair, I guess.
He's been rage tweeting all morning, losing his mind over this. He says, this is Elon, without me, Trump would have lost the election, Dems would control the House, and the Republicans would be 51-49 in the Senate. Such ingratitude.
So he's just saying, I helped him steal the election.
Yeah. I bought the election for him, and this is the thanks I get.
This
not
is the
all the
thanks
stuff
I
I
get.
wanted. It really started going back and forth here. So Elon was retweeting old 2012 Trump tweets about how people in Congress should be thrown out if the budget isn't balanced. He says, who wants to join my new political party where we cover the 80% of the people who are in the middle? That's not a thing.
Is he going to call it fucking X?
Yeah,
of course he will.
Party, 100%. 100%. So Trump's got to hit back. Trump doesn't take a punch and not counterpunch.
No.
Mm.
So Trump says, he misses this place. People leave my administration. They love us. And then at some point they miss it so badly. And some of them embrace it and some of them become hostile. I don't know what it is. It's sort of Trump derangement syndrome, I guess they call it. And then after Elon went nuts, Trump goes on Truth Social, says Elon was wearing thin. I asked him to leave. I took away his EV mandate that forced everyone to buy electric cars that nobody else wanted, that he knew for months I was going to do, and he just went crazy. And then, the easiest way to save money in our budget, billions and billions of dollars, is to terminate Elon's governmental subsidies and contracts. I was always surprised that Biden didn't do it. Oh my goodness. And then, do you want me to finish this off?
I think we should wait, because I want to say that until this point, I have this, like, I have that, like, conspiracy brain where I'm like, Elon Musk is like, what is it called? A psyop? Where, like, he's there to convince poor people that it's okay to be poor, because you look at him and you're like, well, money doesn't buy happiness, huh? Like, it just, like, and at first I thought, like, oh, okay, they're just, like, you know, I'm suspicious enough where I'm like, they're pretending to, you know, disagree. And then it started becoming, like, point of no return stuff. And that's all I want to say until this next part.
Just going back to the beginning when he talks about pork-filled congressional spending. Jonathan, you noted this in the notes, and this is something that I initially took umbrage at. Like, what is it specifically that is pork-filled? Like, what?
Right.
Like, I don't know what you're saying. What don't you like? I do agree, and I do agree that his EV, the cutting of the environmental stuff and his EV, all of that had to have played into this.
Oh, yeah.
Rewinding to prior to the inauguration day, just pontificating, like, I give it just a few months until these two are at each other's throat. Like, these two giant cults of personality are going to be in direct conflict. And I have to say that I was feeling a little bit like I didn't get that one right. I was starting to feel that way. I'm back, baby! I'm back!
Yeah. I'm going to go so far to say I think RFK is next.
Ooh, fun.
I just don't think you get three egos together like this. It was never going to work out, right?
Never.
But that subject of Trump derangement syndrome is always funny, because it's Trump giving people this derangement. And, like, the one thing we know about Trump is that the one thing he was famous for was being like a shitty boss. Oh my God, everybody.
Surprise! Drop it from Mr. Cody Johnston!
Cody.
He's going to hit me with a chair.
What a day for you to have jury duty.
It's lunchtime.
So far in the timeline, we've only gotten...
I haven't done the final, most recent thing yet, Cody, but we've gone through everything else.
Okay.
Well, we haven't gone through it. I just said what it was.
It's like Willy Wonka. They're like, run, Cody.
Why don't we read the next part and give Cody the moment?
As of 1 p.m. Pacific time on Thursday, so if anything, whatever the next thing is, I don't know yet, Elon tweets, time to drop the really big bomb at real Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT. And then later, mark this post for the future. The truth will come out. I yield my time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I don't have much time. I just wanted to just think about this in the car on the way here. Oh my goodness gracious. What the most expected funniest thing to possibly happen. All morning everyone's like, so who's gonna call who a pedophile first? And Elon's like, I got this, don't worry. Incredible. Obviously we know that.
Yeah,
Trump's involved. We all knew that. I do think it's really funny that everybody knew, and also what he's admitting to is the fact that he knew and was fine with it and wasn't going to say anything, wasn't going to tell anybody until Trump was like, you're out of here.
Right?
So like earlier today, Musk was tweeting like, he wouldn't have won without me, this, and like, so if we look at the day altogether, what Musk is saying is like, yeah, I got a pedophile elected. I spent half a $250 million on getting a pedophile elected, and I knew,
I was okay with it then.
But now, folks, we gotta get this information out. So
it's mutually assured destruction, right?
Oh yeah.
Where like it's the same with the cars, where they were both like Trump's like, look how great his cars are, and Elon's like, I love Trump, and now that they're broken up, they're like, by the way, I fucking hate your cars. By the way, you're a pedophile. And it's incredible.
Also,
it's such mean girl shit.
And I want to get your thoughts on this, Cody, before you leave. He had said before the election and after that you need to, like, Donald Trump being president is the only thing that will save Western civilization.
And this election, I think, is going to decide the fate of America, and along with the fate of America, the fate of Western civilization.
Does the bill he doesn't like negate that? Because it seems like it got more money for all the stuff he wanted to save Western civilization, the deportations and whatnot. So now he wants to start another part. I'm sorry, you said that you had to vote for Donald Trump for the future of Western civilization, sir.
Well, he did it, but then everything changed somehow. I don't know what happened, but now we need to save Western civilization in a different way.
That doesn't involve everyone hating.
It doesn't involve that. Maybe in a couple of days, maybe he'd be like, Happy Pride, everybody.
Yeah.
I've always supported the LGBT.
He's going to be doing land acknowledgements at Tesla in space.
It's so good.
I would not be surprised. Someone told him, right? That was like, sir, you're not popular in the right wing. You might want to maybe try another group of people.
The ideal situation is they destroy each other, which is what we kind of hoped would happen and kind of predicted would happen. And, one of them will probably survive a little bit better than the other. But everyone is the most hateable man. I do think it's really funny. He said like 80. We need a party for the 80%. Vance like 2 days ago was like, if you had an election happen and 80% voted for one candidate, you'd be like, that's weird. And then he started going off on this whole thing about how like if too many people vote for something, then it's not democracy or whatever. So I find just the choice of 80% really, really funny. If it was directly referencing that or not. I really do gotta go. But have fun, everybody. Okay. Love you all very much.
Well, that's fun. What a delightful treat.
What a nice little pop-in.
I read the news today. Oh boy. And it was rather sad. But still, oh boy. When you just have to look, go to Ground News, which you can find via the QR code on the screen. Ground News is a website and an app we wanted to sponsor us that I would love to turn you on to. They gather news from left, right, and center and compare coverage so that you can drill down and get the truth. Like this story about how a number of GOP senators are feeling less than ecstatic about Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill Act, which is that spending bill's name. On Ground News, you can see that some, but not all, right-leaning sources are trying to spin this, like the Telegraph's Trump goes to war with the wealthy to shore up his MAGA base. Yep, that's what the massive tax cut for the rich is. Ah, you got it. A war against the wealthy. He's practically Robin of Locksley, Donald of Lago. Anyhowsies, wake up, get out of bed, and get all the headlines at ground.news/SMN. With that link, you'll save 40% off unlimited access. Ground News has many useful features like a factuality chart and biased distribution of the coverage of every major story. What they're doing is more important now than ever, so I encourage you to find your way downstairs and drink a cup of Ground News. Again, go to ground.news/SMN to get 40% off unlimited access for yourself or someone you know. Polythene Pam, perhaps? That's a different album. The link is in the description. We're gonna have the day in the life crescendo and that's how it ends.
It is the summer of Kaine, and you know what that means. Action, action, action. I love action movies. Pew, 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 shoot 'em ups, heists, chases, escapes, lions, tigers, bears. Oh my! I'm not answering my phone, so I can binge some of my favorite action movies on Pluto TV. We're talking Gladiator. We're talking Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. We're talking Good Burger, which is action-packed if you think about Kenan and Kel's tempestuous relationship. And the best part of it all is that Pluto TV is totally free, and they haven't changed their name, at all, let alone 4 times in the last decade. Bring the action with you and stream for free on all your favorite devices. Pluto TV, stream now, pay never. Ow!
This is fun. I don't want to like rain on anyone's parade because there are
very
people being
funny.
like, this isn't going to help anything. And like, there's more important things to do. And I'm not doing that because like, this is juicy and I love it.
And I'm sorry, you got to celebrate and get your giggles in when you can.
I just want to say it's predictable in a way that what I was saying before Cody came on is that what we know Trump for is a show where he used to fire people and make everybody compete in the room and make everybody bitter and like from all accounts, that's how he runs his administration too. And like Elon isn't the first guy for this to happen to. Like it's just if you work for Trump, eventually you get booted and bitter and you're like Steve Bannon or whatever. You're on the outside and you're like criticizing and you're like, you know, clearly bitter about not being in the cool little party anymore. It's just what he does. And so it's like you get Elon with that big ego and you get RFK and you get these guys and it's like, no, it's Trump there can be only one. It's just they're going to get booted eventually. That's just he's a toxic guy. Like it's clear that he's not fun to know or work with or work for. So of course it's going to happen.
There aren't that many rewards
Yeah.
for it. And Trump doesn't seem to care if you like him. He'll say, I love this guy, he's great, whatever. And he doesn't seem to mind either way. He just truthed. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's mostly about the bill. But he says, I don't mind Elon turning against me, but he should have done so months ago. He doesn't care.
Right.
He won't like his most dutiful
That's why they like
soldier.
him.
And like Stephen Miller knows he doesn't get to do any of the awful, inhumane stuff he's doing without Trump. So he'll never reveal what he actually thinks about the guy, blah, blah, blah. But like, even though he's been this soldier for him for years, Trump would turn on him too. He'd say like, I never trust a guy who goes bald in his 30s or whatever. Yeah, he doesn't, it does not matter to him.
True. Like there's literally nobody, not even his own family, that the man will have their back or care. If you're useful to me, great. If you're not, you're not.
He's the gang from It's Always Sunny, where it's like he seems impervious to consequence, but everybody around him falls apart. And I remember thinking when Elon got tangled with him, it was like, I don't want Trump to be president. None of this is good, but at least it's not going to be good for him. Like I knew, like at least, all right, well, he's going to ruin Elon, and I don't like Elon, so that's something at least.
Yeah, like I don't expect. I mean, obviously, neither of them is being taken down. Like it's the president, most powerful person in the world, and the richest man in the world. Although I don't know how much his net worth has officially dropped. After he sent the Epstein tweet, there was like a plummet in the market because the market's just like, we're not doing business right now. This isn't good for anybody.
Everybody's just leaving the room.
I love how Elon was like, time to drop the really big bomb. This Donald Trump character is a rapist.
Yeah. I almost did a spit
I bet
take
you didn't
there.
expect that one. Like, yes, sir. We've known he's a rapist for a long time.
I am like, give me more though. I want some more dirt that we've already known.
Like there's video of him dancing with Epstein. It gets played all the time.
If people are surprised, then they weren't paying attention, right?
Right. And I'm wondering, I am curious how this affects at least the Musk base, the people that were in willful denial of things like that. I wonder if that is, they finally see the clips. They finally listen to what the rest of us have been saying. I don't know. We'll see.
It's hard because there's so many levels, right? Where like you think about Democrats and you think about like, you know, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and people that it's like, I didn't love them, but I was like, they were the best shot we had, right? Where it's like, okay, I don't, you know, there's a lot of internal arguments with Democrats and people on the left and progressives. But there's still that overall feeling of like, yeah, this direction is still the direction we want to go. So I've heard people talk about Trump that way, where they're like, I don't love him, you know, but it's my team. This is the people, and which I will never understand wanting that politically or being on, but it's a similar idea, I'm sure, where a lot of people are just like, ew, but I guess this is my party, you know, like there's probably people who don't like either of them that aren't, it's not going to change their minds or anything.
Oh, a lot of people. Yes, for sure.
Oh, right. But it's the same with us. Just because we find the Republican Party so abhorrent and they want to do evil things,
right,
that it kind of doesn't matter I mean, the Democrats know this, which is why they try to put up this centrist moderate to peel off people that will never vote for them. We know the strategy, but like, they're like, well, what are you going to do? Vote for these freaks? Like,
Right.
you have to, but like, that's why it doesn't make sense to me to be this like ardent Joe Biden, Kamala Harris defender. We want them
to be like
better,
a stan
so
is
that
weird.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
We need to normalize public dueling between politicians again. And public figures in general. I think that would be just really healing.
Okay, let's see. We got some more tweets that just
Okay.
came out.
Give us evidence, Elon.
Well,
I'll buy a Tesla. Give us the. I can't afford a Tesla.
Elon says, in light of the president's statement about cancellation of my government contracts, SpaceX will begin decommissioning its Dragon spacecraft immediately. Because he's like, you can't run the International Space Station. Like, you have come to rely on SpaceX to like do your space stuff. You can't do the
this
Space
shit.
Force without me. So now
Messy.
it's very messy, and they're both basically admitting that they are going to play with the world based on their petty feud, right?
Yeah.
We're going to abandon space, interplanetary, all this, going to Mars with the support of the US government because I'm mad at the president. And Trump is like, oh, I'm mad at you personally. I'm going to get rid of your contracts. That shouldn't be how things run, right? Why, like, is anyone going to ask them that question?
Right. This shouldn't be possible in general, that two powerful guys just sort of whining at each other shouldn't be able to change the economy this much. I mean, this is one of those things that everybody keeps saying and has to say, and it's worth saying. And again, it's just very funny, the women are too emotional thing, the Hillary. It's just really funny because they're such whiners, they're such babies
so
right now,
sensitive.
and they're making it all our problem.
Oh yeah.
Elon has been doing this for years, like Twitter, everything. He's made his problems all our fucking problems.
Yeah.
And today I appreciate that it's out on full display.
Oh yeah.
I'm enjoying this. I feel like you're right. Like Hillary Clinton and Tim Kaine probably wouldn't have been doing this specifically had they had a disagreement. Remember, Tim Kaine was going to be the vice president?
Oh,
what a world.
Oh.
I do want to, and this may change after today, although I don't know why, but a number of Democrats, and this has been floated in Politico as well, of like, should Democrats take him back? Should we show him that this is the way to go? And I would say no.
I would say no.
Various reasons. One, that he's a semi-open white ethno-nationalist and horrendously unlikable and political poison.
But the idea of taking him back or welcoming him into the fold, do you want him to try to strong arm the Democratic Party the way that he has been trying to run this country, the way he's tried to influence Donald Trump? I don't want that. I don't want any of these rich motherfuckers in there trying to get rich off of us and gut social services.
I'm always
personally.
Yeah, I'm always for reform, right? And for forgiveness. But when someone walks really far in one direction, you have to expect them to walk really far back in the other direction. They can't just go like, hey, I'm not a Nazi anymore. Hey, I'm cool with trans people. It's like, no, we know you're not. We know you didn't, and you haven't done any work to show you that you're not that thing. And in fact, these are beliefs that I don't know if anybody can come back from. I don't know if anybody has ever, right? Like at a certain point, it's just like you need consequences, and you need to be taken out of public opinion. You need to not have, like you did a Nazi salute, man. You shouldn't be in charge of things. I'm sorry,
and it's not like he's tweeting, I no longer believe in great replacement theory. He's tweeting like, I'm upset that this guy fired me from the job I didn't really have. Also, the person who's supposedly been running Doge this whole time, has she done a single interview about it? Like, whatever, it doesn't matter. But like, this jump to be like, what a opportunity for Democrats to get this like largely hated man back on their side instead of like all the people who might like to vote for them to do good stuff.
Yeah, it's so incredible. The only other thing I want to say is like, we don't know if like, is this just what the internet did to people? Like, these are the kind of conversations that I could see screamed over a phone call that would like, the audio, like Nixon would record and then we'd learn about it years later. You know what I mean? Where it's like everybody is using social media as their own private diary, but everybody can see it. Where it's like, I don't know, is it better that we get to see the world's richest man and the president blow up at each other publicly? Like, I'm sure something like that has always happened, but it's just happening before our eyes, and that's kind of magical. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of amazing.
Yeah, I mean, the potential for unexpected ramifications, I think, are what we worry about from this. Who knows what they are, but like when
good.
people this powerful are like flying off the handle of this, like 4 days ago, they were singing each other's praises. I'm still going to be here. We're going to work together, all this stuff. A few days from that to you're a pedophile and I'm going to like bankrupt you and cancel all your contracts. Like, it is hard to wrap your head around, but it's kind of the way he does everything, right? It's tariffs on, tariffs off. Elon's my friend. Elon's not. This could go away. They could be friends again in a few days.
It's the way both of them handle everything. Donald Trump and Elon's reactions are completely predictable.
They're not stable people, and that's why perhaps they shouldn't be in power. It's just, it is terrifying. Like, imagine if this was Trump and Putin going at it, and it'd be like, oh God, are we going to die? It's I don't know. It's pretty breathtaking that they have so little restraint. Because it is true that like other politicians, like Democrats, they might not be different. They would do it in private. They would do it to not make the stock market go completely berserk. Where
and
it's
leak
like
to the press.
Yeah, it's just this weird lack of self-control that's kind of frightening. The fact that they're doing it publicly.
And that's an important point, because we're sitting here having our laughs, which are well deserved and we've earned them. But in context, you're completely correct. This is a wild exchange, a very public meltdown, and it doesn't speak well for us as a country that our president is such a big baby and so petulance, especially, I mean, it just nothing reflects well on us right now, but we're still at the very beginning of this administration.
I don't think I think he's going to get out of this just fine. I think this is what people like about Trump. And honestly, if he was some president who believed in things I believed, I would also like that the president told the world's richest man to fuck himself.
I know.
Like, I would be like, yeah, that's great. Like, that's so like nice to see. This is literally the pitch Donald Trump gives, right? Where he's like, I'm so rich, I don't need anything from anybody. This is him doing that for his base. Basically, like, they're going to love this. They never liked Elon. Elon was our heel. He was perfect for this, where he showed up, fucked everything up, and now Trump can blame everything on Elon that has happened so far and can tell him to fuck off and everybody's going to cheer. Like, I think this is good for Trump.
Yeah, he can say Elon misled me about Doge. He wasn't able to cut anything. This was a waste of time. The bill. Yeah, it's like it never happened.
With Donald Trump especially, there really is no such thing as bad press. It's just eyes and attention and the spectacle and entertainment too. Even if it's something that is terrible, you're right. It won't affect his hardcore base. It might affect the crossover bases, though. The people in the Venn diagram of liking Elon and liking Trump, those people perhaps are affected.
Well, I do think that the tech enamoration with Trump has always been a little bit precarious, right? There's never been a sense that like we're ideologues about this stuff. So they would come back to the Democrats if the Democrats promised stability and lower regulation. That's all they need. I'm
excited to see Elon on Newsom's podcast. That's what I assume is going to happen.
That's
next.
Funny.
Let's see where we see eye to eye. Great replacement theory is real. Regulation's bad. We need to cut all government spending. I think we have good agreements here.
Hello, read my hat. All right, real talk, everyone. I'm not really a morning person. Not really an evening person either, to be totally honest. Okay, you twisted my arm. I'm not a person at all, but rather a news-reading cyborg that requires a foundational nutrition supplement to function properly. For me, bleep blorp, that is AG1. I drink AG1 as a morning ritual to keep my gears spinning and my semiconductors conducting. And now, AG1 has leveled up even more with their AG1 Next Gen. This upgraded formula has been clinically shown to increase healthy gut bacteria by 10 times, all for the same price of less than $3 per day. AG1 lubricates my metallic limbs and sparks my sensory enhancements. That means it actually tastes good. Bleep, and even better yet, blorp. Now, clinically backed with an advanced formula, this is the perfect time to try AG1 if you haven't yet. I've been drinking AG1 for a series of years plus months now, and I'm so happy to be partnering with them. Liquid nutrient calibration incoming. Gulp, successful. So subscribe today to try the new next gen of AG1 for less than $3 a day. If you use my link, you will also get a free AG1 morning person hat, a welcome kit, and more goodies included. Check out drinkag1.com/more news to get started yourself. That's drinkag1.com/more news. Blorp, pause, bleep. Recently, I was humming that classic song. You know the one. It goes, "Friends, it sure smells like the new deodorant Teen Spirit in here." Can't remember who wrote it. Or the tune. And it reminded me how important it is to bring a pleasant scent with me wherever I go. Fortunately, I stock up on Mando whole body deodorant, which can handle any smell challenge, whether I've been in the mosh pit all day or some other kind of pit. Mando products work great on all 17 parts of my body. They're paraben-free and they've been clinically proven to control odor for up to 72 hours. You may have been born scentless and senseless, which is a lyric written by someone else, Ben Franklin or something. But with Mando, you can smell like one of several intoxicating scents, like bourbon leather, clover woods, Mount Fuji, or Pro Sport. And Mando's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, like wipes or body wash, and free shipping. As a special offer for our audience, new customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code that equates to over 40% off your starter pack when you use code MORENEWS at shopmando.com. shopmando.com. Code MORENEWS. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. I had one more thing to say. What was it? Oh well. Whatever. Never mind.
So let's talk about the new travel ban real quick, because there was like a new travel ban, and now it's like the 5th biggest story of the day. Yeah, he's bringing back the greatest hits. We've got we're barring visitors from like 12 different countries because of the attack in Boulder last weekend. The White House said that attack underscored the extreme dangers posed to our country by the entry of foreign nationals who are not properly vetted, as well as those who come here as temporary visitors and overstay their visas. And so he picks a bunch of countries like Afghanistan, Congo, Somalia, Sudan, Yemen, not Egypt, where the attacker last weekend originated.
I've seen a few articles that noted like this many of these are from predominantly like black countries. These countries have served no threat to us. Like in the past where it's just like, it's like, I've seen a lot of articles just like passive aggressively being like, it's pretty racist. It seems like it's just countries with people that Trump looked at and decided they're a threat.
It's interesting how, however many years ago, we all were mobilized. This was the big story when he did it the first time, and now there's so much going on like, as Jonathan has already noted, this is like the 5th biggest story.
You're right. I was at a protest for the first time this happened.
Yeah, it's he's also, this is part of this same just being racist and trying to block people from coming into the United States, he's also directed the Department of Homeland Security and Customs and Border Protection not to allow international students attending Harvard specifically to enter the country. And he's been promoting this plan to remove the student visas of all international students at Harvard and I think Columbia, specifically because he's mad at those countries. They're saying, or that those universities, they're saying Harvard's breaking the law by allowing anti-Semitism on campus, and so they're going to try to remove all these protections. Like, can't people see the pettiness of this stuff?
I mean, they can. They probably don't care.
Yeah.
I was talking about how Elon would have a long way to go before he could be accepted in like polite society. That goes for the United States too, where it's like, even if we elect like, even if like it's just a fucking Democrat next time, some boring, whatever, whoever it is, and they're like, I'm reversing all this stuff. It's not going to matter for a while, right? Like if I was another country, if I was wanting to visit, if I was wanting to do business, it's like, no, you're going to have to show that like, not only are we done with this stuff, but the people responsible for it are in trouble and we're really making an effort to like, it's just like, well,
otherwise you don't even feel safe coming here.
This country is toxic.
I don't have the specific names in front of me, but I will say that from what I understand, a lot of universities are sometimes not in alignment with different guidelines set up to get government funding. And so there is an independent board that will be reviewing the college's practices and whatnot. So it's not a one-to-one immediately happening kind of thing where they'll get funds pulled or what have you. There's a process is my point.
Right.
I wish I had the names in front of me, but yeah.
But this is how Trump does things. It's kind of the same with Doge. He puts a thing in place where he blasts something out there as if there isn't a group already looking into or doing the thing. We're going to do Doge even though forensic auditors exist. We're going to remove these things even though there's a board to look at X, Y, and Z. He doesn't know this, or it's explained to him by some nerd, and he goes, I don't care,
Yeah.
He's just like, I'm going to say what's happening. It's all about optics and communication. So the number one thing he wants to do is like, I don't want to fill people's heads with details. Can I just say I'm canceling Harvard? Is that the thing I can say?
No, sure, man.
All right, let's talk about Palunteer. Earlier this week, we got reporting that expanded on something we talked about in our Doge episode of Some More News a few weeks ago. Elon and Trump. I still have Elon and Trump in my notes here. So they were attempting to merge many of the disconnected government information databases on Americans into kind of one master database. That's the news that came out this week, that the Trump administration has asked Palunteer, which is the software company run by Alex Karp and Peter Thiel's like the main investor, to create a master database of all of our personal information. And a lot of this is information the government already has, but it's kind of been by design that the IRS does not have your medical information, or that the person who approves a disability claim doesn't have your bank account number, et cetera, et cetera.
This is to protect us. That's by design to protect.
Did I hear that Alex Jones was all for this? I saw something about that. I don't know. I think privacy stuff, I think it's just we're going to slowly slide into oblivion with this stuff because I don't think people have cared for a while now. Like, I think we're the last generation that cares about the concept of privacy, digital privacy and stuff like that. And it's just going to be like, whatever after this. I remember like when we writing for Cracked, where we learned that anytime we would do something about like this company owes all your data or something like that, no one cared. Everybody just assumes it. They're just like, yeah, I assume the government has because we watch so many movies, like you watch Enemy of the State and it's like they know everything about you and they can zoom in on the satellites. Like I think a lot of people just like thought this is how it worked anyway. And now we're slowly sliding into that stuff.
I think that's true, but I also think there's an element of it feels too big to tackle. It feels bigger than what I'm I don't have the capability in my mind to scrub everything from everywhere. And we just jumped willy-nilly into this whole internet thing when we were growing up. So I have been posting since I was a child, essentially, a young adult, just in college. And it feels so far gone. It feels out of my control. So there's a little disassociation that happens, I think, where it's like, I don't have room to worry about that. And I'm not a terrorist, so I guess it doesn't bother me.
I don't have anything to hide.
Right. The comfort, and it's always this uneasy comfort of like, well, I'm not the person they're going after. They're going after other people. And well, if they have everyone's information, then it's like they don't have mine specifically. It's like when you see there was a big hack of Capital One or something. Oh, they got 100 million people's social security numbers. It's like, okay, then the chances that they'll pick mine are very low. And that's all you can do at this point.
What do they need me for? What do they need my credit card for? Like they don't, why would they want my debt? It's just that feeling. But
it is insidious and it is terrifying. And the implications of what they can do with this information, we all should care about. And what they are doing in other countries. And it's all very vague and murky. And you're never quite sure exactly what they're doing, working with governments, But it's not good.
Well, right. They have the ability to make the Dark Knight wall that they had to destroy after they used it for good the one time, or the enemy of the state thing, or the machine in 100 movies.
To your point, Dave, about Alex Jones, he seems to be on board with this. I don't know if that's true for everybody, though, because there seems to be some backlash even within MAGA Trump supporters.
Good.
And maybe it's overblown. I don't know. We'll see how this shakes out. But at the moment, there's definitely a lot of people being upset about this online.
Yeah, there's some... I don't want to call it a MAGA revolt because that has not been what it is, but it's been surprising to me that this has rubbed some major MAGA accounts the wrong way. Nick Fuentes is seriously, if Palunteer is in the deep state, then what is? Hodge twins say, hope this ain't true, y'all. And then Ashley Cox, I'm starting to think Trump did not flip and this is who he's been all along. I was just blind to it like so many still are.
Hey.
Love it. Love it. Yum, yum, yum.
This is weird I don't want to defend them. It's more to say that, I do get that it's not like any politician isn't, susceptible to this, right? I think it's like when Elon bought Twitter and he was like, look at Twitter working with the FBI and stuff like that. And it was, people were trying to choose, it's like a choice of the lesser of two evils, right? Where it's like, who do I want to have all my data? But someone's going to have it. But yeah, it's so funny because it's like Trump was so obviously just opening the door to this shit. He just wants money. That's it. That's all he wants. He's so easy to manipulate.
Absolutely.
He's so clearly not the lesser of two evils with this stuff. Where
they were worried about Palunteer, why didn't they care with Peter Thiel's relationship with Vance and all of it's a little confusing.
Never occurred to them that maybe the guy being funded by Peter Thiel shouldn't be vice president.
What did you think was going to happen? Or maybe they didn't know anything about Palunteer at the time?
They don't know. I'd say the majority of American voters don't know who Peter Thiel or Curtis Yarvin is or any of these weirdos. Yeah. And I don't think that they're dumb for not knowing it. They don't have to live in this world, and I envy them. Why would you need to know who Peter Thiel is if you're not?
Well, it sucks because we do need to obviously know, but it's people are living their lives. They don't want to be doing deep dive research on all these characters.
No, they're steeped in their propaganda. This goes to a bigger thing that always kind of bothers me with this stuff, which is that things would be a lot better if people admitted that's the fact, because that's the thing is not everybody is reading about fucking politics every day, researching, seeing these connections, and it would just be so but it feels like people aren't willing to listen to the people who are saying this, who would say no, Trump will make this worse because of this, this, and this, and this, where it's okay, no one needs to be plugged in. But some people will be and should be, and those people we should simply listen to about this stuff then. It's one or the other, because it feels like people we're so gung-ho. These people are like, yeah, Trump, he's the best. And then they're like, well, I didn't know this. And it's like, well, you acted like you did. You acted like you knew fucking everything before the election. And now you're suddenly like caught off guard. It's Marjorie Taylor Greene being like, I didn't know this was in this bill. And I'm like, it's your job to know that. Like, you
was
can't.
Was it the AI thing she was upset about?
Yeah. And she's not wrong. She's not wrong. But she's also extremely wrong. She should have known.
Well, she should have known.
When it's the pundits and stuff, when it's people like, who do you say, Nick Fuentes, where it's like him, like, I can't believe this. And it's like, aren't you like a pundit? Aren't you like you have like a little Nazi show where you tell people your opinion and you're not plugged in, you're not paying attention? Then why should anybody listen to you? Get a new job. Go work at Burger King, man. Although they shouldn't have Nazis either there.
I know. I mean, we come onto this show and we're always like, we were right. We predicted this would happen and it happened. Our insight is great. And MAGA always goes on their shows and they're like, I'm flabbergasted by what he's doing.
And that's the thing is like, we're not oracles.
No.
It's just literally going like, well, Peter
I'm a little
Thiel
clairvoyant.
funds J.D. Vance, so maybe not that.
You know, it's interesting. You just mentioned something today that reminded me of this, of like, Elon and Trump just want what the other has. Like, Trump has got his meme coin, so he wants to have Elon type money, and Elon's.
Oh, yeah, Elon wants also to be liked.
Yes. Well, he wants to be a comedian and be liked and all that stuff. Elon would probably, I don't know, probably not, but Elon would probably be happier with his money doing what we do than doing what he does, which is like rage posting all day and playing video games and having people at his companies, his 6 companies, not respect him.
What if Trump streamed Elden Ring and was really good at it?
Oh, that'd be amazing. Like, this is really easy.
What
I don't
if?
know.
It's
I've
extremely
heard
easy.
things. I've heard some people aren't so good. Some people can't do it. I can do it. It was very easy for me to do it.
Yeah.
I'm a mage level 4. I don't know the game.
Well, folks, I think we've arrived at the end of our program. One last check. Is there any more updates on our Twitter feud?
Oh, yeah. Let me do one more thing.
Since this, I've gotten multiple texts from my family being like, is Elon and Trump fighting?
Yeah, it's got to be
like, yeah.
confounding to people who aren't up on this every day and they're not on X. All of a sudden, like, wait, what happened? They don't like each other? All right. Let's see. Elon tweeted the Trump tariffs will cause a recession in the second half of this year. You know.
Should have said that sooner, too.
And Trump, nope, nothing. I think Trump had like a round table to go to that he cut short, so he wasn't taking questions or something like
he's
that.
He's got a Don Draper this. He's got a, I don't think about you at all. Like, he's just got
Like, this
I don't want to give Trump tips, but like he can leverage this very easily.
It was Ben Collins today who tweeted that today was just it was like 2 photos of the heartbreaking, the worst person you know just made a great point, man.
Yeah.
Because like they've both been saying stuff like, yeah, Trump's tariffs will cause a recession. This is going to be horrible. Yeah, you're right. Elon is like a dimwit scum, and
everything's upside down. And isn't Elizabeth Warren and Donald Trump are agreeing with each other on things? I don't know, man. You don't have to touch that.
I mean, Trump has the broken clock thing. He always has, I think, where he'll every now and then I'll go like, yeah, he's not wrong there. You know, like
sure.
He's just, we all know he's an asshole
because we know his problem. He doesn't actually care. So sometimes he'll look at a problem and just be like, well, that doesn't really matter because the United States prints the money, right? So like we can't default. And then they have to say, oh, no. There's loopholes, tax loopholes he wants to close. And then Republicans are like, no, sir, our whole thing is keeping those. And he's like, okay, whatever. Like he doesn't care.
He's got this beautiful child's mind where like some things that he's never heard of, he'll accidentally be right until, someone goes like, no, sir, our side believes this. And then speech where he's like, you guys didn't care about trans people until now. I guess we care about trans people. But it's just 2 garbage people hating each other. So naturally, they're going to get garbage on each other and we're going to like that the garbage is on them.
Well, folks, we did it. I agree with everything that's been said. I'm so glad I got to spend this hour with the both of you and Cody briefly. And with all of you at home. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. What else do I always say? Oh, that's right. We love you very much.